So my first bike was a 1986 Honda Rebel, and it was a turd. I mean, but the honest truth is that that's really what I could afford at the time. And the thing about it though is that in my past before motorcycles, like I would build BMX bikes, I would build longboards. I was a tinkerer, so getting a motorcycle was just a motorcycle that needed work was just the next step. It's not like I had the money to bring it to a mechanic. I just had to get down and dirty myself. When you have the internet by your side, you have YouTube, you have forums, you have shot manual that tells you literally step by step how to do this, then you can afford to be fearless. The greatest thing to gain from like building a motorcycle is once you see it all come together and it actually works together. Like that's a great feeling. Like I remember when I was putting together the K100 and I finally completed the front end, like the GSXR forks, the SV1000 like rotors, like late model GSXR calipers, and like some wheels from R1100, and like I put it all together and it just worked. All those little things, when it just comes together, like that last stretch of building a bike, it's magic. There's a lot of little, like, I would say dead zones in New York City where you can't take a train or you can't take a bus to. So you jump on your motorcycle and it's the most nimble option to, get somewhere, just kind of, go down the wrong way to the street, kind of hooligan around a little bit. Even like the areas that I've been to, like, often, it's just like, you find these little side streets and you have a reason to go down them because you get down there so quick. Or you can get out of there so quick if you have to. Riding around Brooklyn and riding around college, like a lot of stuff would happen. And I was like, well, I could probably just upload like some of these like quick clips to YouTube. So this weird thing happened, somebody else might want to see it. And then after a while, I kind of started like, dabbling into like actually talking over it. The perspective as like a, not fortunate black person from like, the hood of, Brooklyn, I think that is kind of a fresh perspective for a lot of people. People say all the time, it's like, I'd much rather watch you do this than somebody with like, all the equipment and stuff like that, because they feel like it's more relatable. As I put out my content, I put myself out there, it kind of helped their perception of someone that they might not necessarily interact with in day-to-day life. Just to contextualize the fact that for someone who, really likes me, they really like what I do, they really like how I do things, but they don't like Black Lives Matter. I might not necessarily put that at the forefront, but I do go through these things. Let me show you how this relates to me. You kind of like bring them to the middle and then let them kind of like, inch towards where you would like to see them. I never really had like the intentions of using my platform at like that directly, but it was kind of like cathartic to get it out. It's just like, this is how I feel, this is what I've been through, and take it for how you want. I'm not here to argue, I'm just telling you. Riding in New York City is special because I think the edge that New Yorkers have is that there's always something to look at, there's always something to hear, there's always something to take in, and that's just something that you might not get in other places. When you're in New York City, it's just sensory input, blah, 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 cars, horns, guys screaming up the street. But when you get to like the real like out of the way areas, especially like it's this moment when you turn off the bike and there's nothing. It's just the ringing in your ears, and it's just like, I need this more often. It's insane, but it's the greatest thing ever.